Good evening, my name is Roy Peregrine. I'm shooting this video for History 530 at Liberty University, American Christian Heritage. And first I'm going to start off with a world statement, which I do believe in. Historians must be objective and honest in their investigations. Tonight I'm going to discuss the fundamentalist and modern controversy. Mark A. Knowles writes in our textbook about the fundamentalist and modernist controversy in chapter 14 of his book, A History of Christianity in the United States. He introduces the subject as follows. In the unfolding of the 20th century, two poles of Protestant theology did emerge as striking opposites. These divergent extremes have been called the moderate and the fundamentalist. This is the first time I've heard of these two terms. Knowles writes, moderates were Protestants who felt it necessary for Christianity faith to adjust self-consciously to the norms of defining modern culture. They believed modern developments, quote, conveyed the realization of God's work within the world. The fundamentalists, according to Knowles, were a response to this and published works in response to this belief that the church needed to adapt to the culture. These two sides led the country to result in, quote, a widespread desire to understand the subject, the letter, and major conferences examining the Bible, teaching on end times that took place in the 1880s. It also led to new denominations, for example, the Pentecostal Church and Nazarene, which was organized in 1907. The two different viewpoints on the Bible, reading this, were surprising, because then I came to the fundamentalist and moderate controversy. This controversy was surprising because I've always believed that different people have different interpretations of the Bible, and we're all free to interpret the Bible how we want to, especially in America. Knowles defined the fundamentalist movement as a discontent among the white Protestants with the course of the American civilization. The term fundamentalist was created by Kurtz E. Law, and according to Knowles, the fundamentalists battled the liberals and the moderates in the 1920s with a man named Clarence Dower as their spokesperson. For this assignment this week, our professors asked us to look up news articles and to talk about them in response to this controversy using historical databases provided through Liberty University. And what I found in the news articles went along with what Knowles said. The fundamentalist moderate strife had more of an ambiguous evil effect on the teachings of Christ. This idea was shared by the students in the Presbyterian Church and was published in a survey being published in the New York Times article from October 4th, 1924, entitled Students Tell the Ills of the Present Church Among Young Presbyterians Condemning the Controversy Between the Modernism and Fundamentalism. It was published as a survey of the Presbyterian students who were meeting at a conference that year. They answered that poor teachings, misstated creed, over-conservatism in defining the stance on present-day world issues, among many, many other things. One of these other things that was listed was number 8 on their list. They, quote, condemned the unfortunate controversy between the Presbyterian Church, between the social fundamentalist and the moderates, believing that it is detrimental to the furthering of Christ's kingdom on earth. Another article from the New York Times from December 31st, 1923, entitled Church Truce Ends, Both Sides Reopen Bible Controversy, was published 1 year prior to the article published in October 1924. Apparently, a Dr. Joseph G. Barry maintains moderates aren't Christians at all and don't truly live by the faith. He believes this because they question Christ's divinity and they question the virgin birth through Mary. He is quoted as saying, the moderates want to stand at the altar and say Mass in a language saying that it was instituted by Jesus Christ without believing in it. He compares the controversy to that of the Reformation between the Protestants and the Catholics. It was a very insinuous article that seemed very tabloidish at the time. However, I believe it all comes down to this. The fundamentalists believe that the Bible is written by God and is word for word what God would have wanted to be put into the Bible. The moderates believe that the Bible is inspired through God and written through the human means. Have a good evening.